It's a situation that can leave any man feeling so confused. You're with a woman and things seem to be going well, but then she says or does something that feels like a challenge. Maybe she playfully makes fun of you or disagrees with something you say just to see how you'll react. Perhaps she tells you she's fine when you can clearly tell that something is wrong, or she goes quiet and distant for a little while, leaving you to wonder what happened. It can feel like you are being put through a series of confusing tests, and if you make one wrong move, you will fail. But the truth is, this is not a game with a winner and a loser. It is something much deeper, a natural and often unconscious process that is happening inside her mind. She is not trying to be difficult or to play with your emotions. She is trying to answer a very important question for herself. Can she truly feel safe with you? Before a woman can allow herself to be open and vulnerable with a man, her mind needs to feel sure that he is who he appears to be. She needs to know that he is emotionally strong, that he has a solid sense of himself, and that he can handle challenges without falling apart. These so-called tests are simply her way of gathering that information. They are not conscious, planned-out tricks. They are natural behaviors that come from a deep-seated need to protect her own heart. This is because, from a deep evolutionary perspective, the cost of choosing the wrong partner has always been higher for women. This isn't about modern society or financial status, it's about a fundamental biological wiring that prioritizes safety and stability. Her mind is, in a way, running a background check on your character. When you understand this, you can stop seeing these moments as threats and start seeing them as opportunities to show her the real you. One of the most common ways this happens is when she checks to see if your words and your actions line up. This is often called a congruence test. For example, you might tell her that you are a generous and easygoing person. Later on, you might be out to eat, and she will reach over and take a few of your fries without asking. This small act is not really about the food. It is a way for her mind to check if you are truly as easygoing as you claim to be. If you get annoyed or possessive over something so small, it sends a signal that your words and your actions are not in harmony. This creates a feeling of distrust. On the other hand, if you smile and slide the plate closer to her, you are showing her that you are authentic. You are the person you said you were. In a similar way, when she says "I'm fine," but her body language clearly shows she is upset, she is giving you a chance to show that you are paying attention. She is not asking you to solve her problems, but she is looking to see if you notice her feelings and care enough to gently ask what is on her mind. A man who fails this test might say, "Okay, good," and change the subject, ignoring the obvious emotional information. A man who passes will say something like, "You say you're fine, but you seem a little quiet. Is everything okay?" He is not being pushy, he is being present. These are small moments that show her she can trust you and that you are someone who pays attention to more than just words. This same principle applies to consistency in your actions over time. If you say you are going to call her at a certain time, you call. If you make a promise, you keep it. These are not small, insignificant details. To her, they are data points that build a larger picture of your character. A man who is inconsistent with his word, even in small ways, creates a sense of unease. She begins to wonder, if I can't rely on him for the small things, how can I ever rely on him for the big things in life? Every kept promise, no matter how minor, is another layer of trust being built. It shows her that you are a man of integrity, someone whose actions are a true reflection of his intentions. Another thing her mind is looking for is whether you have a strong sense of your own identity. She wants to know that you are not a man who will simply change his opinions or desires to please her. This is because a man who is easily swayed is seen as less reliable. She might test this by playfully challenging your taste in music or suggesting you do something she knows you do not enjoy. If you immediately abandon your own preferences to go along with hers, it can actually lower her attraction. It signals that you do not have a strong sense of self and that you are looking for her approval. A man who is secure in himself can disagree without being disagreeable. He can say, "I know you love that kind of music, but it's not really for me. How about we listen to this instead?" With a calm confidence. He is not being difficult, he is being real. This shows her that he is his own person, with his own thoughts and feelings, and that he is not afraid to be himself. This kind of emotional independence is very attractive because it means he will not be dependent on her for his happiness. It also shows her that he has boundaries, which is a sign of self-respect. A man with self-respect is more likely to respect her as well, and this creates a powerful feeling of safety. Perhaps the most important thing she is looking for is how you handle pressure and difficult emotions. Life is full of challenges, and the woman wants to know that she is with a man who can be a source of calm and stability when things get tough. She might create a small amount of emotional chaos just to see how you will react. Maybe she brings up a past disagreement, or becomes a little emotional for what seems like no reason, what she is really doing is checking your emotional strength. Do you get angry and defensive? Do you shut down and withdraw? Or do you remain calm and centered, able to listen to her without becoming overwhelmed yourself? For instance, if she seems upset and says something like, "You never listen to me," a man who fails the test will get defensive and start listing all the times he did listen. He makes it about being right or wrong. A man who passes understands that the words are not the real issue. The real issue is the feeling behind them. He might take a breath, stay calm, and say, "It sounds like you're feeling unheard right now. Tell me more about what's on your mind." He doesn't take the bait and start an argument. He addresses the underlying emotion. A man who can stay present and supportive when she is feeling emotional without making it all about him shows that he is a rock she can depend on. He proves that he is not afraid of emotions and that he has the maturity to handle them. This creates a profound sense of safety for her. And it is this feeling of safety that allows true intimacy and connection to grow. Being this rock doesn't mean you are emotionless or cold. On the contrary, it means you are so comfortable with your own emotions that you are not threatened by hers. You have the capacity to hold space for her feelings without needing to fix them, judge them, or run away from them. You understand that her emotional state can be like a passing storm, and you have the strength to be the lighthouse that remains steady and shining, guiding her back to a feeling of calm. This unwavering presence is one of the most powerful ways to create a deep and lasting bond, because it communicates a profound message. All of you is welcome here. Your light and your shadows, I am not going anywhere. When you start to see these interactions in this new way, everything changes. You realize that she is not trying to catch you in a mistake. She is giving you a chance to show her your strength, your confidence, and your authentic self. It is not about finding the right words to say to pass a test. It is about being a man who is so secure in himself that he passes these tests without even thinking about it. He is honest, he has boundaries, and he is emotionally stable. He doesn't see her tests as a threat, but as a form of communication. He understands that her behavior is not a reflection of his worth, but a reflection of her own need for security. This allows him to respond with compassion and understanding, rather than with fear or anger. He understands that underneath her questions and her challenges, she is simply asking, "Can I trust you? Are you who you say you are? Can I feel safe enough to give you my heart?" And his answer is not in his words, but in his calm, consistent, and confident actions. It is in the way he respects her, the way he respects himself, and the way he navigates the world with a quiet strength that needs no announcement. What is the most confusing test you have ever experienced? How did you handle it, and what did you learn from it? Share your story in the comments below, and if this way of looking at things was helpful, please subscribe for more insights into the psychology of attraction and relationships.